I'm going to read you two poems. They're both the same poem, but one is in Spanish and one is in English. I wrote the Spanish version first and then later translated it into English. If you can understand both languages, you'll probably be better off than most people. Okay. Estable. Usted es un capitán que lleva su nave a puerto por la noche, guiándose a través de un estrecho hueco en las rocas. Se necesita una mano firme para hacerlo bien, para mantenerlo firme hasta que atraca. Su nave está en forma, su mano es firme, sabe cómo hacerlo, todo es listo. Así que si necesito descanso, solo manténlo estable toda la noche, estable como va, y verá de nuevo la luz de la mañana. I'm sorry I didn't read that too well. This is the English version that I later translated from that. It's called Steady. You are a captain who takes your boat to port at night, guiding him through a narrow gap in the rocks. A firm hand is needed to do it well, to keep it firm until it docks. Your ship is in shape, your hand is firm. You know how to do it, everything is ready. So if you're looking for a rest, just keep it steady all night, steady as it goes, and you will see the light of the morning. If you want to let me know what you thought of those poems, you can drop me a comment. You can leave a comment or a message, I guess. This next one is my last one I'm going to read you today, and it's probably a good thing. It's called A Walk Through the Time-Space Continuum. A walk through the time-space continuum. How long did it take? Only a minute, yet many years later, I stepped off the conveyor belt and slipped back into the space-time continuum. There was nothing unusual about that, except that for a long time I had escaped, slipped away, I had been gone. A bump on the head was all it took for time and space to dance an idiot's dance in my skull and across my face. I felt like a candy skeleton dangling off the end of somebody's string, dancing the devil's dance and grinning the devil's grin. Black, dripping trees marched solemnly by, even though their attendant crows were making a terrible fuss, yelling and screaming, some call it cawing. Black, dripping trees, at that moment, the only things holding space and time together. I turned to leave the crows, and that, my friends, is the moment I stepped off the belt into chaos. I began screaming, somewhat in the manner of the crows, but to no avail, because everyone who saw me go stepped off too. I really didn't like it, so I walked home and woke myself up. Oh, I wanted to reread this one that I read to you, one last one. I read this one to you in the session before the last, and I want to reread it because I read it to you wrong. It's called In a Kingdom by the Sea. Long the sands have shifted in this kingdom by the sea, long before the cosmos thought of you and me. The song of the sea, the siren, song of the sea turned stone to walls with Song of the sea turned stone to walls with safer places to learn to stew the bone. As humankind matured, the shifting sands began a song to give us peace and rest until the last of us is gone. I wanted to explicate this poem for you because I don't feel it's that clear if you aren't up on sirens and stewing the bone and stuff like that. I was starting out because when I got in Spain, I saw the beaches. Really, I noticed the beaches most of anything. And I see a lot of castles around, so I wanted to talk about kingdoms, old kingdoms. And it's long before the cosmos thought of you or me. The sands had shifted in this kingdom by the sea. So the sea and the sand had been going on way before we got here. The song of the sea, the siren. I don't know if you know the story of the sirens, but they were beautiful women. Some say they were mermaids who stayed on the rocks in dangerous places and lured fishermen and sailors into their dangerous zones and wrecked the sailors' ships and killed all the sailors. And what I'm saying here is, this is what I'm writing in this poem, a 3-stanza poem, is sort of the history of mankind on the earth. The song of the sea, the siren, the song of the sea turned stone. The thing that attracted the sailors and people to the sea was its beauty and the mystery of it. And the sailors went out expecting for the best. But when the sirens came, and the other thing sirens did, of course, was turn men to stone. That's how a lot of those large boulders got in the surf. And what I'm saying is that some force came along, and the sailors being turned into stones became more beneficial to man. Stones were being turned into walls to make safer places for people to stay, into castles. To learn how to stew the bone, people had to learn how to cook. Stewing the bone means take a side of beef and stew it, put it in the boiling water, which was a fairly simple thing to do, but people had to discover it before they could do it. And as humankind matured, the shifting sands began a song, and that's poetry. Poetry developed sometime during the rise of humanity to give us peace and rest until the last of us is gone. And that's my idea of the purpose of poetry, to give us peace and rest. Thank you for listening again.